Welcome to the Jedi Ranger. I'm JohnBerry555, and this is my review of the 12th and final episode of Star Wars Andor Season 2. Jedha, Kyber, Erso. So this episode is leading us directly into Rogue One, and they do a phenomenal job at it. But more than that, it's also about trusting Lucen's intel, trusting that what he got out of the ISB is not false, and that his sacrifice essentially wasn't in vain. And due to other things going on, the rebels decide, you know what, we probably should trust the intel. There's enough going on, other weird stuff, that if it is a trap, it's a darn good trap, and we should though take it seriously anyhow, take this intel seriously, because they know Saw's on Jedha, and that's one of the things from Lucen's intel. There's a destroyer above Jedha. There's a contact in Saw's group that will only speak to Cassian. That's how Cassian gets released from being grounded, and then he's sent to the Regan Kafrine to get that intel. And we know where that leads to there. But there's more going on as well. We see the beginning of the squabbling of the Rebel High Command and leadership and all that we see again in Rogue One. And that includes a few of the plays we saw in Rogue One as well, showing that they're not quite united yet, and this intel, because there's going to be another meeting, and we know that meeting that they mentioned is actually the meeting in Rogue One. Such good connections there. But we also get to see where all our characters ended up. We know Cassian, he's getting ready to head on to the Regan Kafrine and the events of Rogue One. Meshi and plus several of the others that we later see in Rogue One on scale with helping Cassian extract the intel on the Death Star, the actual intel that they need to destroy it. We see him training with them in the jungle, the forests of Yavin. We get to see Will Major Pargast. We get to see him. He's listening to Namek's manifesto, and I think it might be speaking to him. Everything that's going he's either overwhelmed with it and he takes his own life, or he decides to wake up and that's his act of defiance, a small little bit. But I don't think it was a coincidence that he was listening to Namek's manifesto when he made that decision. Then we also get on top of all of that too, we see what happens with Jedha. Well, she's in a prison just like on Narkina 5. She lost everything and she breaks down sobbing because of it. She lost everything. But we also get to see what happens with Bix. There's a scene where Vel employs Cassian to reconnect with Bix, and he says to do it after, but we know he won't. But we see what's going on with Bix. She's living on the planet that we saw at the very beginning in Season 1 where Bix, Brasso, Willem, and Cassian, and B2 were living. B2 is still there playing with the other droids. But Bix, she's taking care of an infant. I'm pretty sure that's Bix and Cassian's child that will never get to see their father. And that's just tragic. But I think Vel knows that and wanted Cassian to try to reconnect, try to learn that he has a child. And we know tragedy that won't connect. It's tear-jerking, really. There's so much there. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but the pieces are in place for Rogue One. You can watch Star Wars Andor, Star Wars Rogue One and Star Wars Story, I should say, and A New Hope all together, and you have one cohesive narrative. There might be a bit of a jump to like, okay, why are we following this Luke Skywalker character? How does he fit into all this? And that's the only rapid jump going on there, but it is a cohesive narrative, and it all flows into each other and does support each other. Except for the real jump, but it does essentially work. Though, I gotta say, I was looking in the background, I was hoping I could see a reference to Star Wars Rebels somehow. I was hoping for it. I may just not have been observant enough. But the point I'm making here is that this episode did a phenomenal job at closing the season up and laying the groundwork for the next story. It did what a prequel needs to do. It showed us what we needed to know for the next story, while also leading into it in what I believe to be a satisfying way. So that's where I'm going to end my review of Star Wars Andor Season 2, Episode 12. And the season as a whole, because There's not much more to say, but I will have some other thoughts, so stay tuned for that in my next video. And let me know in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts on this episode and the previous 2 episodes as well. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.